Here's the reason. This is an 8-minute segment. Please stay with me and get a feel for why we're doing this. This is a first program of a section of programs, and this is going to let you to see. Brian Edwards said to me, Johnny, I see your fruit. You're a David Koresh cult type of individual. I want you to ask yourself a question. When you hear this clip, this is actually 3 different things. The woman that was hurt, that was in his church, running around with a man that was not her husband. I don't know whether the woman was a member, but I know she attended. The man was a member. You have Brian preaching about the woman, and then you have Brian talking to her on the phone, and you be the judge.
You're on What Does the Bible Say?
Yes. Is this Johnny?
Yes, it is.
Johnny, I'd like to talk to you about Blessed Hope and Brian Edwards.
Okay. What is this some information that pertains to what?
Well, I watched one of Brian's programs. Heard it. Talking about one of his sermons. It was all about one of his sermons.
Okay.
And he was talking about being attacked in Rubens and embarrassing him in front of his friends.
Okay.
Well, I was there. And as I recall, I walked up to him and asked him if I could sit down. And he said yes. Well, I sat down and talked to the other 2 gentlemen that were there with him, said good morning to them, and spoke to the other gentlemen that knew my mother. And then I started talking to Brian. And because I wouldn't let Brian interrupt me, he said I was being rude. So I apologized. I remember apologizing to the other 2 men, but not to Brian. And Brian continued his conversation to me. And word for word, Brian said that when he found out what they were going to do to me, he had no part of it.
Okay, now, I actually heard the lesson that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the lesson in which the members of Blessed Hope were telling Brian that wanted him to know what was being said about him on TV, and he said he didn't want to listen to any of that?
No, this is what happened at Rubens when he claimed he was attacked.
Okay, well, this is the same lesson. Right after he talked about being attacked at Rubens, he then said that members would come up to him and ask him, did you hear what they said about you on TV last night? And did you hear what they were saying about Blessed Hope? And he actually said no, he doesn't have this channel anymore, and he doesn't call up for 1-800-negativity, I believe is the way he put it. So, yes, I did. I actually heard that lesson on the internet, and so you're the person that he said, I actually heard him say on that internet lesson that someone attacked him right in front of his friends, and he didn't invite them into the conversation, and so on. So you're saying that's you?
Yes, that's me, and that is not true. The gentleman there can say, I asked to sit down.
Okay.
Not have sit down unless I had asked. But I did ask, and I was not attacking Brian. I was trying to get this gossip and the talk about me stopped. It's been over a year since they did what they did to me, and I'm not going to let Brian attack me or anyone else anymore. His threats to me, if they were from him.
God, I know you're a merciful God, but do not let their sin be blotted out from before you. God, I pray that you're going to hold this, for they have provoked you. Everybody say that together. For they have provoked you. When I saw this, guys, I have to pray and ask for forgiveness at this moment. I think all of us need to pray and ask for forgiveness. forgiveness. We need to realize if we mock the work of God, God takes it personally. God, they provoked you to anger before the builders. And then everybody say the first phrase of verse 6. I want everybody to say it literally. Just everybody say it. So we built the wall. They opposed them again. They attacked them again. This time Nehemiah doesn't even answer them. And what do, guys? They just keep on building. If I stopped for every attack that someone made against me or made against Blessed Hope, I'd never accomplish anything good. I was at a restaurant this week and had a person sit down at the table with me in a restaurant. I was at the table with friends. And they just immediately started ranting on me and attacking me. And so I just said to them, you weren't invited into this conversation. You sit down in front of my friends and you have the nerve to attack me in public in front of my friends? If I chase down every single thing, have people all the time ask me, have you been watching the television, what they've been saying about you? No, I don't even have that channel. Have you heard what this person's saying about Blessed Hope? No, I really haven't. You know, I don't have 1-800 give me your negativity. I just, I'm sorry. You know, if we wanted to start talking, there are people in this room that could say things. You could say things against me because I know I've failed you. I could probably say things against you.
Amen.
Just imagine, though, if God started talking about how we responded and how we lived in light of Him. We'd all be humiliated, wouldn't we? We don't have time, guys. There's a wall to be built. I believe that God is at work, and God's work is too vitally important. We're going to be despised for God's work. And I love this. They just continued to build the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half its height.
No, Brian, because nothing's been done.
I'm not lying.
Well, I'm not lying either. I'm not lying either.
You know what? I don't think you are. And I've never one time said any Republican try to avoid you. I never have, and I won't. I'm not going to.
Well, you won't ever have to worry about me coming up to your table again. To me right now, I cannot.
You know what? I got up that day, and I worried the rest of the day. Not because I worried about being hungry.
Now, you be the judge. He preached about her attacking him to his congregation, made all kinds of light of her. How she had the nerve to attack him and rant on him in front of his friends and was not invited. And now he's telling her that he got up from the table so worried about her. Well, you know what has happened in between his sermon and this phone call? She got in touch with Religious Review. You see, when he said, you wonder what God thinks of our behavior? Well, how does the community think of your behavior? That's the question. When she got in touch with us, all of a sudden, he's now calling her. And he's saying, you can come up to my table anytime. I didn't avoid you. Yeah, you avoided me. And you got on television, you got in front of your congregation and then put it up on YouTube after it was in your congregation, after you preached it. And you basically said that this woman now this is her own words. She said that Brian's church was saying that she was the whore that drug away the good member. Now, this good member had been involved with other women in other churches. He was involved with other women in this church. And this woman here, she may have her faults, and one of them was she was fornicating with a married man, but the married man was just as guilty. Now, why is it that they did not help her? Now, I didn't help her get after Brian at that time. I never have played this audio ever before. It was at least 5 years ago when this happened. I have not played it until now. And why am I playing it now? I'm playing it because Tim Whitehart, who is a pastor, who was fornicating with his band member for a year, was he saved? Was he lost? Is it the case that when you're a Baptist, if you are ever saved, that you cannot be lost? Was Tim lost, or did the Baptist church have a lost man preaching to them, or was he saved while he was fornicating? This man has a member in his church, was in the same position. Was he a saved person while he was greeting people at the door, while he was in the choir? You see, we don't have any answers, and it's no wonder that our country is in the shape it's in. It's because of this kind of behavior. You judge. Was he being honest about the fact that she could come up to his table anytime? Or is it the case that Religious Review got involved and all of a sudden now we're having an opportunity to see this? I'm not trying to take Brian Edwards down. I'm concerned about Brian Edwards. I'm concerned about Tim Whitehart. I had a study scheduled with Tim Whitehart. I asked Brian today, stay off of television, have a study with me, answer a question. He has refused to answer the question. This is the beginning. We always expect that you are trying to figure out, what does the Bible say? We ask you, always ask for what does the Bible say. If we can help you with it, here's our phone numbers. Mine's 276-806-2150. Micah's is 434-429-5221. Caleb's is 276-806-3641. Always ask for, what does the Bible say? We're reviewing religion, so you don't have to. God bless you. Good night.